Drone regulations! I know that just like me is the first thing you think about in the morning and your last fluttering thought before you drift off to a deep slumber at night. Or it's the most mundane topic I could possibly make a YouTube video about. But having said that though, as of June 20th, 2022, Japan's Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Travel and Tourism is updating its drone regulations, now requiring all drones to be registered before flying. And some of the reasons for the update that they specify are to identify the drone's owner in case of an emergency, to investigate the cause of accidents and secure safety, and to ensure safety by denying the registration of UAVs with safety issues. Up until now, drone laws in Japan have been fairly simple and allow you to fly basically anywhere as long as you follow a few simple rules. You must fly the drone within line of sight, stay 7 kilometers away from airports, keep the drone below an altitude of 150 meters, and avoid flying over densely populated areas. Compared to a lot of other countries' drone laws, I always found these pretty easy to remember and very simple to comply with. Thankfully, and as far as I can tell, none of these rules are actually changing, but rather the updated guidelines are pertaining to the drone itself. And very much not in the style of the Japanese government. Surprisingly, they've released a modern and easy to read PDF with all the information that we need to know. The document actually contains quite a lot of information, so if you'd like to go through that in your own time, I'll leave a link for the PDF down in the description. But to summarise, these are the main bullet points. All drones weighing over 100 grams must be registered before flying. So going off the old standard, any drone that weighed 249 grams or less was exempt from certain rules, but they've actually changed this category quite dramatically by lowering the threshold to 100 grams. So even tiny drones like the DJI Mavic Mini, for example, now fall into the heavier category, and I'd imagine most consumer drones you find in stores will not be below 100 grams. The next point is that all registered drones should clearly display their registration number. So once you've completed the process and registered your drone, you'll be given a drone registration number, and this is basically the same as like a car license plate number, and it's required that this will be clearly displayed somewhere on the body of the drone. For drones under 25 kilograms, which is basically all commercial drones that you can buy in shops, the print only needs to be 3 millimeters tall, but for any drone over 25 kilograms, specifically those for agriculture or inspection or surveillance, the print needs to be at least 25 millimeters tall. And the final requirement is that all registered drones need to be equipped with remote ID functionality. Remote ID, or RID, is basically a technology that broadcasts information about the drone, whether it be the serial number, the make or model, the flight coordinates, altitude, or speed. This can be detected with specialized equipment. So for example, if you flew over an airport or maybe a military base, the staff at those locations would be able to use specialized equipment to read the information from the drone and pinpoint where it came from. So with these new drone regulations coming into effect, they've also launched a new web portal, which allows you to make an account and easily register drones online. There was actually already a version of this system online, and I do have an account on it, but it was very old, outdated and quite janky, hard to get around, and it felt like most of the time the things you were clicking weren't really doing anything. It was quite hard to understand. So from what I've seen so far, this new system is a big improvement. It's also completely available in English, which is obviously great if you don't speak Japanese, but it also appears that foreign non-residents are able to register and use the system. So I can imagine this being very useful for film crews or production companies who are traveling to Japan to shoot. So hopefully you're still awake at this point in the video, and I promise it's almost over, so let's just take a quick look at the registration process. So if you click on the link down in the video description, you'll be taken to the DIPS website, which stands for Drone UAS Information Platform System. This is basically where you can register and create all your account information. So to get started, we'll first click on New Registration. And on the first page here, you'll see there are a few different options that you can select. If you're a resident of Japan, you can select either of the top two options, the easiest probably being the IC card reader. And if you're a foreign non-resident of Japan, you could apply using your passport. If for some reason you're unable to use the electronic system, at the bottom there is also an option to mail in paper copies of your documents. For my own application, I decided to use my Number card. This is a type of digital ID card, and it is available to all residents in Japan. It basically helps you sign into government web platforms and do things like taxis or print important documents at a convenience store. The card holds all your key information, so when you use it during this registration process, all of the fields are filled in automatically. If you don't have a My Number card, then just fill this out manually. On step 3, we're going to fill out the information for our drone. From what I can tell, most common brands and models of drone are already entered into the system. So in my example, I can select the manufacturer name as DJI, and then it will give me a selection of all the available DJI drones. Because we've entered a model from the list, most of the information is greyed out as it will be filled in automatically. The only thing I need to do manually is enter the serial number of the drone. On step 4, you just need to confirm that you are the owner of the drone, as this platform also allows you to register drones on behalf of other people. Click the plus marks to double check your information is correct, and then click confirm. Step 5 is basically the same as step 4, so just scroll down, checking the information as you go, and if it's all correct, click apply for registration. A small window will then appear mentioning an application email, so just click OK and head over to your email inbox. The email should hopefully come straight through, so open it up and click on this link here. That should tell you that your account is now confirmed, so you can close that window and return to the previous window. As I'm applying using a My Number card, the next screen asks me to enter both of my passwords, the first for the electronic signature and the second for user authentication. These are both created when you actually make the card, and you don't create them on this platform. When you reach the end of this step, it will say that your registration procedure is completed and you will have received another email. This email actually confused me the first time I saw it because it says select the fee payment method from the following URL. And of course, if you scroll down, you'll see two links in the email, one entitled Top Page and the other Frequently Asked Questions. So I clicked on Top Page and it does indeed take you to the home page of the DIP system. So I was expecting it to go directly to a payment page, but after a few minutes the penny dropped and I realised that on the top right option there it does say confirmation of the application status, withdraw, payment. So if we click on this button, we're taken to another page where we can see all of our pending registrations. So if I scroll down to the one I just made and click payment, we can see that the application fee is 900 yen, and if I click on go to this in the middle, it will then take me to the payment processing page. This is just the same as any other e-commerce payment system, so enter your card details and proceed to the end. Once the payment was processed, I only had to wait around 15 minutes and then I received a final email. This is just to tell me that my application was received and the confirmation of the application contents was completed. Now if we return to the application status list and click on details, scroll down to the UA information section and you'll see your registration ID. This is the number you need to display on your drone. You can make a sticker or just use a Sharpie, but once the ID is displayed on an easily visible place on your drone, you're now ready to fly. And like many other countries like the US or the UK for example, Japan still has no mandatory test or licensing system set up. And that pretty much wraps us up, so I hope you guys can get your drones registered, get out into the wilds of Japan and capture some beautiful footage. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you really liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.